The crisis in the People's Democratic Party, which continues to hinder the party's ability to campaign as a unit ahead of next February's presidential elections, seemed to have justified a position taken earlier this year by the Southern and Middle Belt Leaders Forum on the issue of equitable representation amongst Nigerians' component parts. In a separate interview and public engagement, some senior figures in the forum, including Afenifere leader Chief Ayo Adebanjo, the president of the Ohaneze Ndigbo, Professor George Obiozo, and president of the Southern and Middle Belt Forum, Leaders Forum, Dr. Bitrus Pogu. Now, they had all warned that the PDP would run into troubled waters if it failed to do the right thing by presenting a presidential candidate from the southeast of the country as a way of rewarding not just loyalty, but also maintaining the delicate balance of the Nigerian Federation. Well, Dr. Bitrus Pogu joins us now to have a conversation on this topic and many more. Thank you for obliging us and joining us this afternoon on Newsday, Dr. Bitrus.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Well, don't want to say it, but hate to say I told you so is literally the discussion we're having this afternoon. As the intro said, it was called, it was discussed, and now it seems the PDP is in this particular predicament. How do you foresee them balancing this delicate situation until February 2023? And do you think this will cost them the elections?
It's good that you're asking this question. In terms of balancing now, I don't think that would resolve the problem, because the fundamental issue is that the presidency is supposed to be coming from the south, not from the north. But through smartness, northerners within the PDP ensured that the presidency was left open and a northerner picked it. For a northerner to now become a president after 8 years of Buhari's regime, another northerner, I think it's unacceptable in a pluralistic country like Nigeria, where we have considerations of nations, of geopolitical zones, of religion and other things. The delicate balancing would be distorted. So that fundamental problem, to me, is the issue. And whether they tinker with the chairman, as the group of 5 governors are insisting or not, I don't think it will resolve the problem, because that fundamental problem can just not be resolved, because the candidate of the PDP is from the wrong part of the country. For us, we decided that anybody from the north, coming from the north to contest for presidency in 2023 is out of consideration by us. And so it has come to be, PDP will have to prepare to face the electorate, because I don't believe Southerners will just submit to a northern president in 2023 election. And let's wait and see what would happen.
Now, we know that the Southern and Middle Belt Leaders Forum has endorsed Peter Obi, but some people are worried that the Labour Party is yet to release its manifesto. So how would you assess the party's performance so far and Peter Obi's chances in 2023?
Manifestos have been released by parties in the past. The APC released a beautiful manifesto with programs that they intend to achieve based on their manifesto and what they want to offer to Nigeria. Unfortunately, that has not yielded any result. So the issue is, who is the character that we are endorsing. What is his character? We believe that Peter Obi, from the southeast, we're not talking of Igbo, because there are Igbos in the south-south and Igbos even in the middle belt who are indigenous. We are talking of the southeast. The leaders, the elders looked at this man's character, looked at his performance in the past, and have scored him high, and that he has the capacity to represent that geopolitical zone as a president of Nigeria that could take Nigeria out of the woods. And we, because of the consideration of equity, fairness, and justice, endorsed him as candidate for the presidency. And we are mobilizing. And all those stories of whether he has a structure or whatever is not the issue. The issue is the people are the structure. And I believe, just as many others, that the 2023 election would be a departure from the past. Why did I say that? You may find in one place somebody voting president as Peter Obi, governor as somebody from APC or PDP or NNPP or another political party. So this is the kind of thing we are going to face next year, and we believe it is a good development for the polity in Nigeria. That means we are developing and we are improving from where we were to a better place which we hope to be. So we have already taken that decision. It's not a question of if we are, but we have taken that decision, and we are going to support the decision to a logical conclusion.
All right, it certainly will be an interesting election season for next year, but in lieu of a manifesto on the part of the Labour Party, what do you, in your opinion, Dr. Bitrus, think that we should be focusing on in terms of the issues and how to bring Nigeria back together? What are the real issues that will determine what will move Nigeria forward in the coming months?
There are so many very important things affecting Nigeria now. One, which is affecting the whole country, is the insecurity problem. And we believe that the government in power is not making a good, radical, positive move towards addressing the issue, because knowing that the locations of these bandits, terrorists, what have you, is known, and yet they are still there. We hear stories, the military has done this in this area, the military has done that in that area, and yet these people continue to perform freely. We question, are these stories really true? Because are they verifiable? We believe the incoming president will be able to address that, manifesto or no manifesto. The economy has gone down the drain. Just 2 weeks ago, there were raids in Zone 4 here in Abuja. The Bureau de Change people were being chased here and there because they were being blamed for what is not their fault at all. A dollar went up to about 900 to naira. That is 900 naira to $1. And that is just unacceptable, because it means our currency is becoming more and more useless at the international level, and it is hitting us hard because prices of things have gone up. They will tell you the dollar is exchanging for so high. When this government came in, I remember in 2015, even before the president had his ministers, $1 was exchanging for about 198 or thereabout. And today, to say that $1 has exchanged for up to 900 naira, the economy is down. So, manifesto or not manifesto, the economic issue has to be addressed. Our currency has to be strengthened. We have to be exporters of finished products. We have to be producers, not consumers of goods and services. We have to be able to produce our own food. So all this have to do with the economy. So these two areas, and then of course trying to ensure that issues and things that the federal government is not supposed to delve into are devolved to the states. That's why this restructuring thing we are talking about, it doesn't have to be everything. We're not going to tear the country apart and then repackage the country. No, we look at areas where things are not working, and then we give it a fine touch so that we have that part, working. We have been talking about state police. If we have state police, many of these attacks, which are just happening anyhow, wouldn't happen. We have forced our military to do police job, which is not right. So restructuring, tinkering with things here and there, devolving powers to the states, which are the federating units, would resolve so many things that we are facing. There are issues we have been talking about. Hey, some of these conflicts are farmer harder. There is nothing like farmer harder. We have always had our local Fulani. We've lived together. If there's encroachment, we knew how to resolve them. It didn't even go beyond the ward head. Today it's a different ball game because the whole thing is different. And all these things can be addressed at the community level because every community know their local Fulani, and if the right policy is there, these people can change their lifestyle without having the problems that we are facing. There are vast lands in the north where these people can be accommodated, and government can provide facilities, and it will be productive venture to rear cattle. But unfortunately, people are only interested in taking people's land. How do you find it as a government? Some people are kicked out of their ancestral land, and then some others, violently killing them, and then some others settle there, and then you want peace to prevail. It cannot happen. So we need a government manifesto or no manifesto to be able to address these issues so that we will have a one united Nigeria where everybody will have a sense of belonging, not where everybody appointed into some sensitive position is from either one part of the country or one religion. I mean, that shows that we have not matured. We have not reached the level of nationhood. We have so many different nations within Nigeria, and we are not united to be considered as a nation yet. So we want a president who would address such issues. There are so many other issues that need to be addressed, but we believe through what we call restructuring, which so many people give different interpretation to. These things can be addressed, and a bold president who will come in as a Nigerian president, not a sectional president, could do this job. And criminals in the bushes, whether they are, whoever they are, will be dealt with as criminals. You are a terrorist, you are a criminal, you'll be dealt with as a criminal, not to be pampered and allowed to have a freeway so that innocent Nigerians will continue to be terrorized and messed up.
Well, Dr. Pogu, thank you so much for that. We do hope that all these your dreams will come true in 2023. Now, I'm sure you are aware of the drama that played out between Afenifere and the APC presidential candidate. I'd like to have your take on how the presidential candidates have been conducting themselves so far. And are you worried that some of them might try to divide your ranks on whom you should support in 2023?
Of course, a politician would always want to have his way. All he's after is support, and that support, irrespective of how it comes, the politician will pursue it. It is whether or not we are principled. That is what matters. If for a justifiable reason we have taken a decision, we should stand by such decision. The leader of the Afenifere, known to us, is Pa Adebanjo. The Afenifere sat down and looked at this thing passionately. In fact, it was the Afenifere, not the Middle Belt Forum, that decided that, look, this thing should go to the Southeast for fairness, equity, and justice, given that General Obasanjo from the Southwest was a president since the beginning of this democratic dispensation and stayed there for 8 good years administering this country. And today, a Southwest person, in the person of Professor Osinbajo, as vice president, is also part of the government. So they felt, yes, it is not just southern part of the country, but it should go to the Southeast. So we said, yes, we concur. Because if you who are in the South are now saying that the right thing is not just South, but Southeast, given that they are the people who have never had it, we concur. Let the Southeast bring up somebody who can be a true Nigerian president, who we can support. And we all agreed. Now, we all know that Pa Adebanjo has been acting in that capacity, agreed by the Afenifere leadership that the Pa Fashoranti is so old and that he can't continue doing the job. So he has been acting. Now, the politicians as they are, went and rubbed in this old man into this confusion by making him to make pronouncements, which he's not supposed to. I was leader of the Chibok struggle when our girls were abducted. After I left office, I left that office for the people who are now leaders to do what they are supposed to do. It's not for me to now come and delve into what they are doing. It's just like saying President Obasanjo now coming to take decisions on behalf of President Buhari. It doesn't work that way. So that has been created by the politicians. It's an unfortunate development. The old man has been drawn into what he is not supposed to be drawn into. We believe as an elder person in society, he will know how to solve his problem. And Afenifere, as far as I'm concerned, is still not divided on any issue. It is the politicians who robbed this old man into this confusion. And we are still resolute on what we've decided. The Afenifere, the Ahanese, the Pan-Niger Delta Forum, and the Middle Belt Forum, we are united on this issue. And we are going to reach out to other socio-cultural groups to ensure that we are all united on the same page. We are talking about Nigeria, not about a section of Nigeria. And the good thing is the obese running mate is from the Northwest. And interestingly, he is even a younger brother to the spokesperson of the Arewa Northern Elders Forum. So we are looking at somebody who has capacity, who has track record, who can do the job, irrespective of where. But given the plurality of our nation, we believe it should come from the Southeast, and so it is. And let anybody come to me. I will tell the person, this is where we are, this is why we decided to do what we have done, and we will discuss the merits of what we have done. To us would outweigh the demerits, and Nigerians will have a better president in Peter Obi when he's elected.
Well, Dr. Bitrus Pogu, thank you so much for that spirited delivery and for, of course, joining us on Newsday. Dr. Bitrus Pogu, the president of the Southern and Middle Belt Forum.